Welcome back to Kleschka Picks, Week 4, everybody. I just want to start by saying the Seahawks are 3-0. Let's go! And I'm going to move through this episode pretty quickly because right now I'm in Europe and I'm filming this the night before I leave, trying to stay on schedule for all of you. Okay, so let's get into it. Cowboys and Giants. The Cowboys, they lost to the Ravens last week. Two very good teams going up against each other. Dallas has had their struggles. The Giants, they've been struggling for a very long time, and I predict that will continue here, and Dallas will get back on track, and they will seem like they have no problems. But when you're playing the Giants, it's pretty simple. So I got the Cowboys winning this one 31-14. Broncos and Jets. The Jets took care of the Patriots no problem last week. I predicted that. And the Broncos, they got a win last week. Bo Nix, congratulations. But I think you're coming back down to reality, buddy. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are going to find that chemistry, find that pattern that they feel comfortable with, and they are going to continue to get better and better every single week. So give me Bo Nix falling back down hard to earth, and the Jets picking up the W in this one, 24-17. Speaking of falling back down to earth, the Saints and the Falcons. The Saints, they started off so well in the season, and then they played the Eagles, took an L late in the game. And the Falcons, they've been impressive. They've been staying in games against tough opponents. They did lose to the Chiefs last week, but to be able to compete with them, that is something to be proud of. And then these two, starting off the year, same division, very impressive. Who's going to win this one? I think the Saints. They have looked more impressive to me throughout all the games that have been played so far. And I think going up against their division rival, we will really find out who's going to run this division, and I think that'll be the Saints. So give me them winning 27-23. Bengals and Panthers, two surprises here, one good, one bad. Let's start with the good. The Panthers, they benched Bryce Young, put in Andy Dalton, and that worked. They got the win. He went off, beating the Raiders. And then we have the Bengals, who are not so good. Surprising news, they are 0-3. They have not looked good at all to start the season. They've been getting beat up on. Their offense has not been rolling, and I think this week they finally will have a chance to find themselves once again. I think they got all that late game momentum last week, even though it was kind of gimmies late in the game from the Commanders. I think they are going to use that as confidence and go into this week against Carolina knowing it's a weaker team, and they will finally get that win. I think the Bengals got it 29-24. Rams and Bears. The Bears lost last week. Caleb Williams got his first career touchdown. He didn't get the win though. And the Rams, they got the win. Comeback win late in the game. Underdogs against the 49ers. I love that. Anytime the 49ers are losing, I'm going to be so joyful. And I have realized that I cannot doubt Matthew Stafford, man. You could take away all his weapons, man. You can beat him up on the gridiron, but he will still fight till the last whistle blows. And I think he's going to continue to do that this week. I think the Rams are going to pick up the win over the Bears, 27-20. Packers and Vikings, two good surprises here. The Packers, even though they lost Jordan Love, who could be returning soon, even if he doesn't, I'm assuming Malik Willis is running the offense once again, which has been perfectly fine. They balanced him by adding Josh Jacobs and the run game to the mix, and that has allowed him to be comfortable and run this offense smoothly. Got the win over the Titans last week, and the Vikings, they dominated the Texans. Sam Darnold finally getting this opportunity to work an offense that has some decent pieces around it, and he is succeeding. And I think that is going to continue this week. Just between these two good surprises, which one has looked better to me? It's the Vikings. They've looked more dominant offensively for sure, and I think the defense is going to bring Malik Willis back home and show him, hey, this had to stop sometime soon. I think the Vikings will pick up the win over the Packers, 30-24. Houston and Jacksonville. Jacksonville got kicked their butt all the way to Mars by the Buffalo Bills, and then you got the Texans, who basically had the same thing happen to them, but they got kicked all the way to Mercury by the Vikings. These two teams, same division. Houston, we know they are dominant. They have a lot of weapons offensively, and their defense is on the rise. Jacksonville, they don't got much going for them, if I'm being honest. And I think we are just going to see the Texans dominate them. I think they're going to get back on track after what happened last week, and I think they will win 23-13. Colts and Steelers. The Steelers got the win last week, and they have been pretty solid to start the season. The defense has been really good, and the offense is slowly learning with Justin Fields. It honestly might be the move. If Russell Wilson is healthy and ready to come back, maybe tell him, wait, I think we got this right now. I think we got a good thing going. And the Colts, they beat the Bears last week. Anthony Richardson seems like he is starting to figure it out with the offense, and I think we are going to see a very hard, rough-hitting battle this week. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a hard one to predict. I think these teams could really lean either way. You wouldn't seem crazy, in my opinion, and I think the Steelers are going to get it mainly due to their defense being better, in my opinion, and I think they get the victory in this one, 24-23. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a close one. It could go either way. Eagles and Buccaneers. The Eagles, they were able to come back with Saquon Barkley late in the game last week, get the win over the Saints, and the Buccaneers, they were absent. They started the season pretty good, and then they played the Broncos and were nowhere to be seen. They took the L to them, and this week, we know the Eagles, they can run a very high-powered offense, and I literally mean run with Saquon Barkley. And the Buccaneers have their quarterback with Baker Mayfield. He really seems like he is liking being in Tampa Bay and succeeding, although not last week. I think it won't be multiple weeks in a row for Baker Mayfield where we see that kind of performance from him. I think he gets back on track, but going up against a very good Eagles team, even though they haven't really hit their stride, I think they just have so much more talent than Tampa Bay that they are going to propel ahead of them, and they are going to win this one 30-20. Commanders and Cardinals. The Commanders really shined last week, especially Jaden Daniels, beating the Bengals, who have been off to a cold streak, but the Commanders are really starting to see him as a leader, and he is running that offense very well, and I think the defense is low-key underrated in Washington. And you have the Cardinals, who started off hot as well. Marvin Harrison is really adjusting to the NFL, and Kyler Murray is definitely showing that's one of his favorite targets. And if the whole offense is balanced and it's working, they run a great game. And I think that is what it's going to happen this week. Their run game wasn't as strong last week. I think we will see that return here against the Commanders, and when everything's clicking, when you can hand off the ball, when you can throw the ball, I think the Cardinals become very good, and I think we are going to see that, and I think they get the victory 24-20. Patriots and 49ers. The Patriots, they got clapped last week by the Jets, and the 49ers, they blew it late in the game. Oh, I love that too. These two teams are far apart, if you ask me. 49ers, tons of talent, tons of promise. The Patriots, ever since Tom Brady, they've been trying to find the next Brady. They've been trying to find who is going to lead this team back to glory. Hopefully, that won't happen anytime soon. That's my wish. And the 49ers, even though they are banged up offensively, missing a ton of weapons, I think they will be fine this week against the Patriots. I'm sure most thought that last week against the Rams, but I don't think that'll happen 2 weeks in a row. They definitely have guys that will step up. Jordan Mason in the replacement for Christian McCaffrey has been great. Jawan Jennings in the replacement for Deebo Samuel has been great. And I think they will be okay, even if they're missing Brock Purdy this week. I know he had an injury scare. I still think we'll see the 49ers come out on top, mainly due to all those offensive injuries. I still think the defense could be the factor in this game. The 49ers defense is definitely one to be feared, and I think they will put a stop to anything New England tries. So give me the 49ers winning 31-17. Chargers and Chiefs. The Chiefs came away with a victory over the Falcons, holding on late in the game as they usually do. And the Chargers, they were beaten by the Steelers, and you want to talk about injuries. This Chargers team is banged up, and this Chiefs team is very good. So I think it's going to be a scary week for you Charger fans. I think Patrick Mahomes is absolutely going to tear apart this team. They're missing huge players on defense like Bosa, and they could be missing Justin Herbert. So this is looking like a very bad week, and who knows how hard this will hit them throughout the whole season. But this week specifically, I think Mahomes is definitely going to make use of his speedy weapons like Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. I think they could go crazy in this one. I think the offense is definitely going crazy for the Chiefs in this one. So give me the Chiefs winning 40 13. Every single week we have a mid matchup of the week where we just cut straight to the chase. We don't spend much time on this game, and this week it is the Browns and Raiders. Let me just give you the score. I think Raiders win 27-19. Next, Bills and Ravens. The Bills absolutely destroyed the Jags last week. Josh Allen proving that he can still run this team even though he lost Stephon Diggs. He's going to find ways to win. He's going to make use of all his other weapons on the offense. And Baltimore, they have had some struggles this season. Even though it hasn't been like the most disastrous thing ever, they still have had moments where they could have had another win and they dropped the ball on that one. But they beat the Cowboys last week. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry ate it up. And I think this week they are running up against a very hot Bills team, especially Josh Allen. He is locked in right now, and I think we're going to see that once again. I think he's going to go crazy, and it's going to be hard for Baltimore to keep up. I think they'll fall apart as we get farther and farther towards the end of the game. So give me the Bills winning this one 33-24. Titans and Dolphins. This could be a mid-matchup of the week too, and it's mainly due to the quarterback injury of the Dolphins. They lost to my Seahawks last week. Let's go. And who knows who the QB will be this week? It could be Skylar Thompson. It could be Boyle. Either way, not great options that they're looking at. I would suggest possibly signing another QB or trading for Bryce Young, the redemption arc. And Tennessee, yeah, they lost to Green Bay. It has just been a horrific start to the season for them. They thought Will Levis was the answer, but instead he's out there doing the craziest throws you've ever seen. You never thought you'd see on a football field. That's what he's doing. And I think they are better than Miami, mainly due to the fact that the Tua injury is hitting them so hard right now. It's affecting the whole offense. So I think Tennessee gets away with this one, winning it 20-10. Seahawks and Lions. My Seahawks, 3-0, undefeated. We beat Miami last week, handled them no problem. And the Lions, they beat an NFC West opponent, thank you, the Cardinals. And I think this week we are going to see both offenses go touchdown for touchdown. I think it's going to be a very good offensive game, which means whose defense is going to be stronger? Who's going to be able to make the final stop as the game comes to an end? And I think it's the defense, man. Our secondary, Reek Woolen, Devon Witherspoon, they are on the rise. Make sure you look out for them because they are going to be household names. I'm just feeling it, man. This defense is reminding me of something I once saw in 2013. I ain't going to go that high, but I like these guys on our defense. We got some solid linebackers in there now, even some guys on the defensive line. So I think the defense is going to be a huge reason why the Seahawks beat the Lions this week. Give me them 23-20. I know this kind of felt like a Kleschka pick speed run, but I am just working my ass off to try and get these videos done before I'm on a plane across the world. I want to stay on schedule for all of you. Like the video, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I would really appreciate it if you help me hit my goal. I got this, you got this, we all got this, and I'll see you next time.